Hello again and welcome back to another one, and today we'll be focusing on many key figures in hip-hop facing backlash from the hip-hop community over what's being deemed as rappers switching up, as this all started when news hit the web that rappers like Rick Ross, Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Soulja Boy and others were set to perform at the US President-elect's inauguration event. And before we dive in, remember the views and opinions expressed in this by rappers and social media users doesn't necessarily reflect the views and opinions of ET Lifestyle. And now that we got that out of the way, after news of rappers performing at the inauguration event, videos started to hit the web that added fuel to the fire that shows rappers like Rick Ross and Snoop Dogg having a great time. Check out snippets.
My mother say, Rose, man, you playing to win tonight, man. You sharp as mosquitoes, nigga. What's going on? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball. Ooh. Bang, bang.
Where my dogs at? I got that RG Bunker, and it's so what I just might charge a double. I think I'm being me. Woo, free, Larry. Whipping work, boom.
I got the rolling on my arm and I'm pouring Sean Dawn and I'm all of that sweet cause I got it going on. Ice cream, some ice cream, see these ice creams, see these ice creams.
Quick, at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. Before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends, they got to go and damn you with mine. Young niggas at the pad throwing up gang signs.
And before we get to Snoop Dogg, who has a well-documented history of being against the president-elect, so much so that even Elon Musk is out here surprised by this, and also before we get to media journalists bringing up Eminem and more, we'll start with Rick Ross, who has been getting cooked, especially by Drake fans. After clips hit the web, this blew up, for instance, laughing my bum off. The culture, Ross swore up and down that Drake is a white boy and a colonizer, but he's doing performances for the real colonizers. These are the clowns y'all were defending because you hate Drake. And more on Rick Ross, not the same Rick Ross who called Drake a white boy, laughing and skull emojis. And we got rap fans speculating right now about rappers like Rick Ross and Snoop. They was probably at them Diddy parties, so they doing favors so they can seek a pardon later. And some users are convinced that this is the case. It is not probably, they are guilty as F. And in Snoop Dogg's case, it left many hip-hop fans in shock, since there's compilation videos of Snoop Dogg going off about the president-elect. Check this out, for instance.
Go out there and do a country song.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? I was the one that performs for him, sir. I just want to say this real quick, man, on the political shit. Ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid. I'm saying that to y'all. And this punk don't care. Don't vote for that nigga, please don't. Look what he do. He just don't give a fuck. Y'all honest, blue-collar, hard-working people and suffering. So if he don't care about y'all, he really don't give a fuck about us. So fuck him too. And fuck everybody down with I said it, yeah, Snoop Dogg, good fuck him.
Alright, politics real quick. Now, we all hate... I apologize. Nah, I really don't apologize, man, because a lot of my fans get mad at me when I talk bad about him, but I think it's safe to say most people in our culture do not.
Well, you need to know that a lot of your fans is racist. Ain't no way around. Don't even try to put no.
I don't even want to put anything around.
I do. I don't give a. I tell him straight up. If you like that, you racist. You and him. Now what?
All right.
Draw the line. He drew the lines.
Exactly.
He drew the motherfucking lines. Before him, there were no lines. Everybody was everybody. We respected everything. We didn't trip. But when you drew the line, start pointing out and singing, y'all didn't.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
You and them.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking
Kanye
about
too,
Donald Trump.
nigga. Don't forget about him too. You too.
Few moments later.
They let a real crip up in the crypto ball. Ooh. Bang, bang.
And we got a Joe Budden podcast guest going off about being disappointed in these rappers he expanded. This ish literally made me sad. However, some users came for his neck. Hi, Mac Lamont Hill. Why do the gatekeepers of black culture only speak out against artists when it comes to their politics? You're silent when they brag about guns and murder, rap about the color of their private parts, and promote drug use. But president-elect is where you draw the line. And of course, this only led to even more back and forth. And this also went viral, aimed at Snoop. Who would have guessed that Snoop Dogg would end up being one of the Uncle Tom bomb dudes he himself rallied against not long ago? What a freaking sellout. And while Snoop is already getting welcomed in viral posts like hanging out with the legendary Snoop Dogg who is set to perform at President 47's inauguration, President 47 is unifying the country and will bring us into the golden age. Welcome to MAGA Snoop. And even at that side of the fence, Snoop is already dividing them as this blew up under. We don't want degenerates like Snoop in our circles, manipulating our youth to think it is cool to be addicted to smoking weed and calling women garden tools. No thanks. Which got this response: it takes no courage to come out and support someone after they won. And we even got Elon Musk react to Snoop Dogg's switch up. The vibe shift is real, laughing emoji, and this went super viral. Tupac was right about Snoop all along. And we got US political commentator Jonathan Harris bringing up M in comparison to Snoop right now. It is a sad day when M has my respect more than Snoop Dogg. A white dude came out and criticized the president-elect and endorsed the VP at her campaign rally. The Snoop of the 90s that actually stood for something is dead because he wants to bow and lick the boot. Mr. H would have had a much easier time now than during World War II. And this got some users out here quoting M. I don't understand how in the F do you feel like you can relate to a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire freaking life. And even people who don't agree with M's politics have added, while I don't agree with his political stand, and I don't care, as long as the bar is good. The fact is, M is nothing but consistent, so you gotta respect that. Also, it helps that he usually criticizes both sides. Hopefully, he'll keep with that. However, some rappers are now responding to the backlash. And before we get to Nelly responding to the backlash he's faced for this, Soulja Boy reacted to the backlash on IG Live. Check out the snippet.
They pay me a bag. Bomb ain't never put no money in my pockets. All ain't never put no money in my motherfucking pockets. Put money in my pockets. Motherfuckers are trying to say something about me performing at the crypto ball party. Did Kamala call my phone? Did Obama call my phone? Did any of you niggas call my motherfucking phone? Oh God, the fuck you mean? I do what the fuck I want. Trump called my phone. It wasn't even a Trump event. Trump wasn't even there. Y'all so worried about he performed, him, Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross. Molly, you ain't even win, bitch. Bomber, you ain't call my phone. Y'all suck my. Y'all want me to not answer the phone of the president? This the president of the motherfucking United States. Trump wasn't even there. It wasn't even a Trump event. It was the crypto bar for crypto. Y'all can suck my, counsel me all day. Y'all, y'all. On my mama, I don't give a fuck when nobody talking about. I do what the fuck I want to do, and I'll go again. What you talking about?
So as you heard, he's all about the money. He's quite open about that. However, Nelly had a different response to the backlash. Check out a snippet from Nelly's interview with Willie D live.
I thought you was riding with me because I put on for my city and I try to bring my city up every step of the way. I did not know you was riding with me because you thought I would ride for who you voted for. I didn't know that. I apologize. I didn't know that I had to agree with your political choices, and I thought it was the things that you do, not the things that you say should be done. If you follow what I do, this shouldn't even be an argument. He's the president. He won. This isn't a campaign. This isn't an RNC. I'm not out on the political campaign. I didn't get none of that 1.5. You see what I'm saying? Like, to try to help somebody get voted. She didn't invite me.
I didn't invite me either, man. I was going to do all at home.
But I don't knock the ones that did. I don't knock the brothers and sisters that benefited from it. I don't knock the correspondents that may have gotten money to do that. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because it's an honor. I respect the office. It don't matter who is in office. The same way that our men and women, our brothers and sisters who protect this country have to go to war and have to put their life on the line for whoever in office. So if they can put their life on the line for whoever in office, I can damn sure perform for whoever.
What do you say to the people that say we're giving you this backlash because you are propping up a white supremacist?
I would ask them to show me where he's a white supremacist. And here's the thing. Okay, I get it. He did say if you don't vote for me, you're not black, right? Oh no, that wasn't him. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Hold on. He did create.
I know where you're going.
He did create the crime bill in the 90s, which said that if you get caught with 5 grams of crack, you do a mandatory 5 years. That had mass incarceration. I think even the vice president spoke on that part that said that the crime bill played a huge part. He didn't do that. Let me see. What did he do? I'm trying to think. The white supremacist. Hold on. I'm gonna get to it. Okay. He did not rent to black people. What was it, in the 70s or the 80s? Is that what they said? And like, okay, is he renting to them now? So nobody's allowed to change, right? See, here's the thing. So we can talk about past, but we never want to talk about our past. If our past get brought up in our community for a lot of what our men did, we always call it rehabilitation. Yo, these young brothers, we've been through a lot. I know I've been through a lot. If my past was what was going to prevent me from winning today, I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that he ain't got the ways. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's why I'm not telling you who to vote for. But what I'm saying is that he's the president of the United States. He's not the candidate for the United States. He's the president. He won.
And as expected, this sparked reactions all over the place. There are those who came for his neck. I would have rather he just said he did it for the money than this ignorant bomb rant. Some others believe he doesn't have to explain ish to anybody. Everyone can do what they want to do. If people don't like it, so what? Life goes on, shrugs emoji. And on the other end, some believe it shouldn't be so hard to process that it is an honor to perform at the inauguration ball for the president of the greatest country on the planet, any president. It is like performing at the Super Bowl, only bigger.
Interesting.
But all in all, some have now concluded that the whole quote community is cooked. Check this out. Rappers will rap for the incumbent president, they will rap for president-elect, they rap on tables for white music executives, they will rap for Big Meech coming home. Seems like they have a hard time rapping for the cause though. But on a side note, sometimes even when rappers rap for the cause, people still complain that the raps didn't have a beat to dance to. What to do, eh?
What to do.
But over to you guys. Feel free to share your thoughts below in the comment section. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.